Hello YouTube, my name is Nero, taking some more Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have some pretty incredible news to go over. So, just like the title says, it looks like Activision and Treyarch are going to be releasing Black Ops 4 early, though the details are very confusing, and I'm going to try to clarify everything here in this video. So, if you live in the United Kingdom, the retailer Game is going to start selling Black Ops 4 at 6 p.m. local time on October 11th, which of course is 6 hours early. The reason why they're doing this is because they want to make it so it's actually worth it to go to an actual store and buy a physical copy of the game as compared to just buying everything digitally, which the vast majority of people do, right? Because it's much more time efficient, right? I'm sure most of us have been to a midnight release before, and midnight releases are fun. I like going to them, but they are very inefficient if all you really want to do is get the game as fast as you can and start playing the game as soon as humanly possible, right? You have to drive out to the store and then wait in line, and depending on the size of your store, you may be there for a very long time, and then you finally get the game. You have to drive home, install the game, install the updates. By the time you're actually ready to play, it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning in the vast majority of situations, right? So that's why they're doing this. They want to make it so it's actually worth it to get a physical copy of the game, but they're doing such a good job of that it's actually better, apparently, to have a physical copy of the game because you can start playing as soon as 5 or 6 hours early, which is pretty freaking incredible. Now, this is not going to be limited to just the United Kingdom. If you live in Australia, the retailer EB Games is going to be doing the same thing. They're going to start selling copies of Black Ops 4 at 6 p.m. local time, and here in the United States, GameStop is going to be doing the same thing, although it's a bit more confusing with GameStop because the times are going to change on a store-by-store basis. GameStop Corporate is telling people to call and check in with their local stores to see exactly when the early release is going to be. I called up my local store, and they told me that they're going to start selling Black Ops 4 at 9 p.m. on October 11th, which of course is 3 hours early. It's not as good as what's happening over in the UK or in Australia, but 3 hours early is still 3 hours early. The representative also told me that they will be accepting pre-orders for Black Ops 4 up until 3 p.m. on October 11th, which gives fans plenty of time to actually go in there and pre-order the game and get ready for the release. But I've got to say, I'm concerned that this is not going to be happening at all retailers, which again is why this is so freaking confusing. So, GameStop is confirmed to have it in the United States. Game is confirmed to have it in the United Kingdom, and EB Games is confirmed to have it over in Australia, but we don't know about any other retailer, at least as of the recording of this video. We don't know if Walmart is going to be doing an early release. We don't know if Target is going to be doing an early release or any other store out there. My suggestion, if you have a physical pre-order at any store that was not listed here in this video, call up that retailer and ask them if they're going to be doing an early release of Black Ops 4, and if they are, then that's awesome, right? But if they're not doing an early release, then consider canceling your pre-order with that particular retailer and pre-ordering somewhere else that's actually going to be doing an early release. That's my suggestion to you guys. But of course, the big question on everybody's mind right now is, what does this mean for those of us who decided to pre-order digitally, right? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I would not have even pre-ordered a digital copy if I knew I could get the game 3 to 6 hours early by going to my local GameStop, right? So I really hope that Activision gives the go-ahead for Xbox and PlayStation to allow digital copies to go live a couple of hours earlier than expected. But of course, I will keep you guys posted with more details as they become available. But I wanted to make sure you guys are well aware of what's happening with physical pre-orders here in the United States, the United Kingdom, and Australia. And if you live outside of those regions, please let us know down there in the comments if any promotions are happening in your particular area. But really quickly here, guys, towards the end of the video, I want to give you some more updates in regards to Black Ops 4 because we've gathered a lot of information over the course of the past couple of days. So yesterday, Black Ops 4 was updated, and it's now able to be played offline by people who have an early copy, right? This means that the majority of the Black Ops 4 multiplayer and zombies mode has been officially revealed via leaks, and I want to cover some of that here in this video. So the official map count has been revealed for the game, and that count is going to stop at 14, like we all kind of thought that it would, right? I mean, some of us held on to hope that maybe they would reveal another map between now and the official launch, but because these guys have access to the game, they can actually show us the map maps in the game itself, it seems like 14 is going to be the official number, with of course 10 original maps and 4 remakes. They also revealed that a lot of extra content has been added to the game since the beta, but not as much content as you would maybe imagine. It's actually the same situation we found ourselves in last year with Call of Duty World War II. It seems like the majority of the game was actually revealed during the beta, with very few things being reserved for the full launch. So the differences between the full launch of Black Ops 4 and the beta are that we now have 2 new sniper rifles, 2 new light machine guns, 2 new pistols, a lot of new operator mods, because of course a lot of them were not available during the beta. We have 1 new perk in the form of Skulker, which performs exactly the same way in multiplayer as it did during Blackout, which means you now move faster while crouching and while prone. And of course we have 3 new score streaks and a bunch of balance changes. I'll put a link to all that information down there in the description. It's a massive Reddit thread, and I feel as though we'd be here all day if I were to try to read out the entire thing to you guys, but suffice it to say, those are the big changes that were made between the beta and the full launch of Black Ops 4. Now, if you're a Zombies fan, then I'm sure you guys are well aware that because people are actually able to play the game offline now, that lots of footage of the Zombies mode has been flooding the internet over the course of the past 24 hours or so. My advice is, if you're looking to be spoiled, it should not be very hard to find these videos, even though Activision's pretty quick to take them down. But if you're looking to not be spoiled and you're trying to avoid any spoilers at all costs, I recommend being careful if you follow on Twitter. That's very important. I recommend not visiting the Zombies subreddit until the launch, and I also recommend not visiting the Black Ops 4 subreddit, because every time I go there, I see videos of zombies, right? And just as a courtesy to other COD fans, guys, if you have access to zombie spoilers, be careful of where you post them online, and make sure that they're not in the place where people might accidentally see them when they don't want to actually see them, right? Don't just randomly post them to Twitter or retweet them to your following. There are lots of people out there who don't want to learn anything about the zombie story until they can actually play it, so try to be respectful of that. Now, a couple of extra bits of news to wrap up the video here today. If you're looking to preload Black Ops 4 on your console or on your PC, you will be able to do so very soon, and in fact, if you have the Xbox One, you can already preload, which is really interesting considering the PlayStation 4 typically gets to go first for pretty much everything. But yeah, you can preload on the Xbox One as of this recording. The preload for the PC is going to begin at 9 p.m. Pacific, and for the PlayStation 4, the preload appears to be at midnight, October 10th local time, though I have been seeing some people who have been able to preload the game even earlier than that, so I suppose your best bet is just to keep an eye on your PlayStation 4 and begin preloading as soon as you're able to, though I imagine it'll be no later than midnight local time on October 10th. Now, the final bit of news for this video is more of a personal note than anything, but I was able to secure an early copy of Black Ops 4, which should be here tomorrow. The tracking says it will be here tomorrow, and I am very excited about that. I spent pretty much all day yesterday digging around on Craigslist and eBay and calling up local mom and pop stores till I was eventually able to find a copy. And like I said earlier, with Black Ops 4 being available in offline mode for people with early copies, and all those retailers preparing for an early release of the game, that seems to hint that the online servers are going to go live at some point later on tonight, or maybe even early tomorrow, which would be pretty freaking incredible. So I will keep you guys posted with more details as they become available. Fingers crossed that game actually comes tomorrow and it actually works as advertised, because if it doesn't, I would have gotten scammed. That'd be pretty freaking terrible. But once again, I'll keep you guys posted with more details. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section below, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.